Hello, this is Jay from Cucumber Shop. Today we're looking at my home garden and talking about cover crops. So one of the things that I often wonder is what to grow in your garden over the winter if you have problems like I do, where I live in a moderate climate, and so that means plants and weeds will continue to grow if I don't put anything down, so I need some kind of cover crop. Additionally, cover crops help to enrich the soil in various ways, either being tilled in or as a green mulch afterwards, or whatever you want to do. It can really improve the soil because you have some green matter, you have that organic matter that will compost and turn into high quality soil. In any case, what we're looking at today are some fava beans, you can see over there, and some oats. So here's one of the fava bean plants right here, and they produce these beautiful flowers, and they can be incredibly productive. You can have these beans like all over the place, and you don't eat the pods so much. You can eat the smaller pods, but oftentimes you pull off the bean itself and have the little pea seeds, well, they're not pea seeds, but the seeds, broad beans that are inside. I tried cooking, I believe, the pods last year, but my wife, she had an allergic reaction to them. It's called favism. It's quite common with people of Mediterranean descent. And some people, if you have Mediterranean descent in your heritage, it's you can have problems with it. So if you decide to try to eat fava beans for the first time, I highly suggest you only eat a few to begin with, so you can see if you have an allergic reaction or not. But if you want to be on the safe side, don't eat them all. That's up to you. Some people love fava beans. But what I'm growing them for here is a green manure or as a cover crop. So what I do is I leave, I cut them off as close as I can to the bottom. Sometimes they'll regrow. You can see that that's a little bit of regrowth there. But generally speaking, if I cut them good, then what that does is it leaves these nitrogen-rich nodules in the soil to enrich the next crop, which for me will be cucumbers, of course, either, C. mello or C. sativus, whichever one I decide to grow this year. So here's some more fava. But last year I grew all fava, and I felt that something was missing, and I really like to switch things up occasionally. So this year I grew fava and oats, and the oats actually get pretty tall. And actually, just to prove to you that these are oats, there's the top of one of the tassels. I cut these off because I needed some more light in my greenhouse for the cucumbers developing in there. But otherwise, we have these little tassels with the, those are actually oats in there, well, developing. Anyway, so about this time of year, beginning April, I start clearing out. So here's me clearing it out, and I just clear out the ground as much as I can, and then when I'm got everything cleared out and I know that it's mostly pest free, then I will put in my cucumber plants. They're all transplants, so I put in the transplants and then I grow them out from there. So that's about cover crops right here. There you go. And maybe I'll take you over to look at the transplants real quick. So there's some of the plants growing in my greenhouse. And here's my messy greenhouse. Here we've got, I'm trying some banana plants. So there's a couple banana plants in here. And then I've got different cucumber varieties I'm trying out to see if they're any good or not. That's what I do. This is my kind of little experimental garden here. Yeah, so here I've got some Bianco Leccese, or some light Leccese cucumbers, and actually they're melons, but you eat them as cucumbers. And see, we're starting to develop some male flowers here. Those are the beginning of some male flowers. Male flowers come first before the female flowers. And these are all Leccese Bianco, or light Leccese. And then some Spreada Leccese, and it's kind of dark depending upon the company. And then here's some more spread alla leccese, and this is a spread alla leccese as well. And then here's a pickling melon. I'm trying these out, seeing if any of these Chinese pickling melon or Asian pickling melons are any good, because a lot of them, it seems like they may be bitter. I tasted a lot of the leaves and they were pretty bitter, so I took off most of the leaves, and I only have a couple left that I'm trying out to see if they're actually going to produce any cucumbers that are not bitter. If they're all bitter, then I don't offer bitter cucumbers per se. Oftentimes I have to, when I do harvest, I take out the bitter cucumbers, and that's what I do. And then I don't sell those to people. So here I have some tomatoes that I'm doing, and some cucamelons or Mexican gherkins, Mexican sour gherkins, some massafra, and some diva cucumbers, and some Mandarin round. So trying to get a good crop of Mandarin round with the splotching, because I know I really like the splotching, even though there's a lighter variety of Mandarin without splotching. And then up here we have the Galatina and the some beans, and yeah, that's it. So what I do is I'll take a transplant, and this is in a soil block, and I'll put it in the ground, and I'll put a collar around it, something to protect it, because oftentimes, especially here in the Northwest, slugs and snails will come and will devour my stuff. So I will grow them out in the garden and put them out there, and yeah, that's what I do. So if you have any questions, just email me or leave a message. And this is Jay from Cucumber Shop, talking about growing out green manure or cover crops, and showing you a little bit of my greenhouse. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful spring. Happy gardening and best wishes.